Mr. Croy has been in Whiteland for several years. He coached football, track, softball. Now he's the assistant athletic director. He told us a little bit about his duties, responsibilities, and what he likes his job.
I'd say the favorite part of my job is just getting to be around athletes every day, getting to see them compete in the evening, after school, and just kind of representing Whiteland and trying to, do a good job making sure our kids, play with good sportsmanship. And I also like working with our coaches too and kind of helping, giving them advice and, maybe a parent situation or playing time situation, and we can kind of help them kind of process that and walk through that together. So my main responsibility is event coordination and logistics on game nights for volleyball, football, baseball, basically any home event. I'm also responsible for collecting business sponsorships and partnerships throughout the community and generating extra money for the athletic department to help us get things that we need. And I put together a monthly newsletter that's everything and anything Whiteland Athletics. That's pretty comprehensive, comes out every month. So. It's really, it kind of fluctuates. It depends on the week and the day. Some days we might get in here and we'll have a couple cancellations, and so Mr. Edens and I are calling officials and calling the other team and saying, hey, we have to cancel the game tonight, or we've got this quarantine situation and we have to adjust our schedules. It could be I'm out stocking the concession stand with products, the cooler with drinks and things like that, or I might be outside setting up the football stadium or go over and set up the soccer stadium. I go to my lunch duty I have every day for an hour. So yeah, every day is kind of different, which has been kind of nice because I taught for 30 years. I taught biology and earth science, and so I pretty much had a set schedule. I had periods 1 through 8, and I knew what I was going to be doing. So every day's different, which has kind of been nice. So I coached for a long time. I've been at Whiteland. This is my 28th year. It's my 37th year total. I spent a year at Clinton Central, and I spent 8 years at Monrovia before I came here in '94. Coached football. I coached football for 25 years. I was a girls' head softball coach here. I've coached track. I've coached baseball. I've coached track. Gosh, I'm sure I'm missing something in there, but I've had a lot of years coaching, and so I think a little bit of that experience kind of helped me and kind of got me in line to kind of do what I'm doing now. So the hardest part of my job is sometimes kind of not knowing what's going to happen when we get to school the next morning. Like we could have had a situation that happened overnight that we were unaware of, and we get here and, hey, listen, we had somebody involved in this or that, or it's just the unknown is the hardest part, and the late nights. I can tell you that next week, the week of the boys soccer sectional, Mr. Edens and I will probably not be home until close to 10 o'clock every night of the week, and we'll still be here at 7 a.m. In the morning. So Mr. Edens, he kind of oversees the entire program, and he's kind of our face of Whiteland Athletics. I'm kind of the guy behind the scenes doing a lot of the grunt work and doing things that get done that nobody really knows about, which is fine with me. But it all comes back on him, and he's more in the forefront. I'm more in the background, kind of just helping him, kind of his assistant, making sure that what we're doing is benefiting, the entire school and our community. Oh, wow. It's changed a bunch. So when I started here in 1994, we had 700 kids, and I could stand out in front of my classroom and I knew about every kid that went by. I knew them by their first name, and now I know a third of them, maybe. Just the sheer numbers, we've gotten so much bigger. We've transitioned from 3A in football to 5A in football, and we're getting close to maybe transitioning again to another level. So I just think the sheer numbers and the number of athletes that we have competing, and the number of kids that we send to the state competition every year, and those that we have qualifying for regionals and higher versus back to the 90s when I first started. That's happening more and more now too. I've had 28 years of great memories. One that sticks out, a couple that stick out. One is in 1999 when we played in the semi-state football game against Roncalli for a chance to go to the state finals in football with Mr. Sears. He was the head football coach. I was the special teams coordinator for that time frame, and just signs that were up and down 31 from all the businesses, and people, their front yard, go Warriors, and just I guess the closeness that the community had that week leading up to the semi-state, and then coming out and taking the field that night after about 2.5 inches of rain during the day. My kicker was from Spain, and I remember Felipe, he told me, he said, "Coach, I'm going to kick the ball great." And he did. Took the opening kickoff, kicked it through the back of the end zone against Roncalli. And so those kinds of things still kind of stick out. And then another good memory was when we won the school's first ever girls softball sectional title here in my second year. That was a neat thing, because it was the last year of, it was the first year of class softball, and just that excitement that the community had going to the regional that next week against Chittard, and those are just really fond memories that are still pretty clear.